already. I see this guy world star this plane crash to the fullest. He even went up and saw dead body. But anyway, I shouted him out. I think it was Bosnian News. But yeah, look how this thing crashes into the ground.
Announcing just moments ago that there will be an emergency order to ground all of those 737 MAX 8 planes. There had been a lot of concern about this after the crash in Ethiopia and the crash just months prior involving the same kind of plane. As you know, these jets have been grounded all over the world, including the UK, Germany, and France. And again, President Trump moments ago announcing they will ground those jets right here in the United States.
Thank you very much for being here. I know that you've all been following the terrible tragedy of the Ethiopian Airlines crash this weekend. Tragic. The FAA is preparing to make an announcement very shortly regarding the new information and physical evidence that we've received from the site and from other locations and through a couple of other complaints. We've had a very, very detailed group of people working on the 737-8 and the 737-9 new airplanes. We're going to be issuing an emergency order of prohibition to ground all flights of the 737 MAX 8 and the 737 MAX 9 and planes associated with that line.
So there you have it, President Trump at the White House just a short time ago announcing that here in the United States, they are issuing an order to ground all of the Boeing 737 MAX 8 and 9 jets. You're seeing one of those jets right there in that video. There had been concern here in the U.S. because those jets were still flying, despite the fact that those passenger jets had been grounded elsewhere, as I mentioned at the top, in the UK, France, Germany, and in other countries. Obviously, all of this follows the deadly crash in Ethiopia. Everyone on board killed, including several Americans who were on board that flight, and of course the Lion Air crash that came just months prior with very similar descriptions of what might have happened that brought those jets down. I want to bring in ABC's David Curley, who covers aviation for us. And David, you've been reporting on this for days now, and pressure had been mounting on President Trump and on the administration to do something, especially given the fact that other governments around the world had taken action.
There was a lot of public pressure to do something about this. The FAA said, though, that it was basing its decision not to ground on evidence. Canada just was the latest to ground the aircraft earlier today, and that minister in Canada suggested there is new evidence from satellite data. He didn't say what that data is, but suggesting some kind of pattern that they see between these two accidents. The president saying that it had information from the site and elsewhere and complaints, and that's why this emergency order. It's unclear to me whether the FAA has decided to do this. Of the brand new 737 MAXs have been grounded. Just a couple of weeks ago, 8,500 flights a week by these aircraft, David. So it will have some impact on airlines. They're going to have to find aircraft from other parts, bring them out of maintenance or whatever in order to deal with their schedules that they have. But this is a emergency order according to the president. And as I say, it's unclear whether it's coming from the White House and told the FAA or the FAA has decided there is evidence that they need to ground.